Did you know that a woman's past can deeply influence how she interacts in relationships today? How do her experiences in love shape the way she handles her connections with you and others? Today, you'll discover the 4 psychological traits that reveal how a woman's past can affect her relationships. Stay until the end because, in addition to understanding these traits, I'll show you how to apply this knowledge to improve your love life and relationships. The way a woman handles love, trust, and vulnerability can be strongly shaped by what she has experienced in the past. Every experience, whether good or bad, transforms her and prepares her for the future. Understanding this can be a game changer in your relationship. Today, we're going to explore the 4 psychological signs that will help you understand her behaviors and how these traits impact the way she gives herself to love. By the end, you'll know how to use this knowledge to build healthier, deeper relationships. Before we dive in, if you want more tips on improving your relationships and better understanding people's psychology, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on valuable content. Confidence in relationships. One of the first signs that the past has shaped a woman is her level of confidence in relationships. But this isn't just any confidence. It's the kind that was built, brick by brick, after falling and rising again. A woman who's been through heartbreaks, betrayals, or even emotionally unavailable partners learns a powerful lesson. She must choose herself first. That confidence shows up in how she sets boundaries. She's not afraid to say what she wants, to ask for clarity, or to walk away from someone who doesn't align with her values. It doesn't mean she's hard or distant. It means she respects herself enough not to beg for affection. In the past, she might have silenced her needs to avoid conflict. Today, she values emotional safety over superficial peace, and if you're in a relationship with a woman like this, you'll notice that her confidence doesn't come with arrogance. It comes with history. It's a quiet, grounded sense of worth. Have you ever met a woman who knows exactly what she wants and isn't afraid to walk away when she doesn't get it? That's not arrogance. It's wisdom shaped by experience. But confidence alone doesn't define her emotional depth. As you'll see in the next trait, experience also reshapes what she expects from love itself. Realistic expectations. Another powerful sign that a woman's emotional past is shaping her relationships today is in her expectations, and especially how realistic they are. Gone are the days when she believed love would fix everything, or that the perfect partner would just complete her. Experience taught her that no one completes anyone, and that love, while beautiful, also demands maturity, effort, and presence. Women who've been through deep emotional experiences, disappointments, heartbreaks, and rebuilding tend to adjust their emotional expectations, not to settle, but to anchor love in reality. She doesn't expect daily grand gestures. She values small, consistent actions, emotional availability, and honest conversation, because she knows that sustainable love lives in the ordinary, not in fantasy. In relationships, she becomes more centered. She doesn't chase the high of passion. She looks for stability. She knows that fairy tales are fun to watch, but lasting relationships are written with patience, communication, and emotional safety. And here's the twist. This woman, precisely because she's realistic, ends up loving deeper, because her love isn't built on illusion. It's built on presence, consistency, and connection. If you think being realistic means settling for less, this next part will change your perspective on what deep love really looks like. But if you think this emotional maturity makes her less romantic or emotionally open, just wait, because what comes next might surprise you. Let's talk about how she deals with vulnerability. Vulnerability and openness. One of the most powerful signs that a woman's past is influencing her relationships is the way she handles vulnerability. And here's the truth. She's not afraid to feel. She's just careful about where she places her heart. A woman who has lived through emotional disappointment, betrayal, or neglect doesn't give herself away easily anymore. Not because she doesn't want love, but because she knows what it costs to love the wrong person with your whole soul. In the past, she may have given her heart too quickly. She may have believed that love meant full surrender, that to prove how much she cared, she had to erase her doubts and show up, no matter how little she received in return. But now, she's different. Today, vulnerability for her is a sacred decision. When she opens up, when she tells you her fears, when she admits that she's been hurt before and that she's still healing, that's not weakness. That's the result of emotional strength built over time. And make no mistake, if she shows you her wounds, it means she sees potential in you. Vulnerability is her way of saying, I trust you to hold this piece of me with care. But she'll only do that if she senses that you're emotionally safe, that you're consistent, attentive, and honest. She's not looking for perfection. She's looking for truth. And the moment she feels seen, respected, and emotionally supported, she'll open in a way that's raw, beautiful, and incredibly real. When she opens up to you, even just a little, don't take it for granted. It may have taken her years to get there, but even when she lets you in, she never stops protecting her peace. Let's talk about how her past taught her to guard her heart with care. Care and emotional protection. By the time a woman learns to be vulnerable, she has also learned something else. Not everyone deserves access to her heart. That's why one of the strongest emotional traits shaped by her past is how cautious and intentional she becomes with love. She doesn't fall easily anymore, not because she's bitter, but because she's wise. Her past has taught her to observe, to pay attention to red flags, to tone, to consistency. She's no longer swayed by sweet words without aligned actions. This emotional protection isn't a wall to keep love out. It's a filter to protect her peace. You'll notice it when she slows things down, even when chemistry is high, when she steps back to think, when she distances herself from situations that don't feel emotionally safe. And yes, it can be misunderstood. Some may say she's too guarded, too cold, or too slow to trust. But if you take a step closer, you'll see that behind this calm exterior is someone who's been through enough to know that love without boundaries is dangerous. She's not avoiding love. She's protecting herself while leaving the door open for something real. Pay attention to how she protects her peace. The way she pulls away might not be rejection, it might be self-preservation. Now that you've seen how emotional intelligence shapes her ability to love and protect herself, let's go deeper. Because beyond protection, there are scars, hidden ones, that still echo in how she connects today. Invisible scars. Sometimes the strongest women are the ones carrying the deepest wounds. Wounds you'll never see, because they've learned how to smile through the pain. These invisible scars don't fade. They just become quieter, more subtle, but they still shape how she loves. A woman who's been emotionally hurt might seem confident, independent, and in control on the outside, and she probably is. But inside, there are layers of memories, of past disappointments, of moments where she gave everything and was left with nothing. Those experiences leave marks, and they don't just disappear with time. They stay, not to define her, but to remind her of what she had to survive. And now, they silently influence the way she approaches every new connection. You might notice that she hesitates before expressing her feelings, or that she questions your intentions even when you're being genuine. This isn't insecurity, it's emotional intelligence developed through pain. She's not doubting you, she's protecting herself from reliving a story she's already survived. The more intense the scar, the more measured her steps will be. And if you're patient, kind, and consistent, you'll watch her slowly unfold, layer by layer, revealing a version of herself that's beautifully complex and deeply real. If you ever felt like she was too guarded, consider this. What if she's not protecting herself from you, but from a version of love that once broke her? But those invisible scars don't just make her cautious. Sometimes they make her test the waters in ways you may not even notice. Let's talk about the subtle loyalty tests that come next. Loyalty tests. Here's something most men don't realize. When a woman has been deeply hurt in the past, especially by someone she trusted, she starts testing, not out of manipulation, but out of protection. These aren't loud, obvious tests. They're subtle, quiet. She might pull back just to see if you'll chase her. She might ask a question she already knows the answer to, just to gauge your honesty. She may pretend not to need reassurance, when in fact she's watching to see if you'll offer it anyway. Why? Because at some point in her life, she gave her heart to someone who didn't protect it, and that wound runs deep. Now she's not just giving you love. She's giving you a chance to prove that you're different. These loyalty tests aren't about control. They're about survival. When you've lived through betrayal or emotional abandonment, your mind starts to create defense mechanisms. You look for signs. You search for cracks before you fall into them again. It may feel frustrating to be questioned when you've done nothing wrong, but instead of getting defensive, ask yourself, what is she really trying to feel right now? Safety? Consistency? Trust? If you show up with patience and truth, those tests start to disappear, because what she truly wants isn't to catch you lying. It's to believe she's finally safe. Before you react to her doubts, pause. What if she's just checking whether your actions align with your promises? And when she starts to feel safe, when your actions speak louder than words, something even more beautiful happens. She stops testing and starts trusting, and that's when her emotional independence starts to shine. Emotional independence. There was a time in her life when love meant giving up parts of herself, skipping her needs, changing her tone, saying yes when she wanted to say no, all in the name of keeping someone around. But that version of her is gone. Today, love doesn't mean losing herself. It means bringing her full self into the relationship. One of the strongest signs that a woman's past shaped her emotional maturity is her independence inside the relationship. She doesn't need constant validation. She doesn't ask for permission to exist. She doesn't shrink to make someone else feel big. She'll still have her passions, her routines, her space. You'll see her going to yoga, visiting her friends, taking time alone, not because she's pulling away, but because she knows who she is outside of you. And that scares a lot of people. Some mistake this independence for coldness, but it's the opposite. It means she's loving you by choice, not by need. Her love is not a lifeline, it's an offering. She's been through enough to know that the most dangerous kind of love is the one that consumes your identity, and she's not going back there. So if you're with a woman like this, don't try to take her independence away. Celebrate it, because when she feels free, she gives you the best version of her. Loving her means understanding this. She's with you because she wants to be, not because she needs to be. And with that freedom also comes clarity. She won't hide what she wants. She won't pretend she's okay when she's not, because the next trait is her sharpened ability to communicate with confidence. 8. Clear communication. In her past, she may have swallowed her words to avoid arguments. She may have smiled when she was hurting, said, "It's fine," when it absolutely wasn't. But now, she doesn't do that anymore. A woman who has healed, or is healing, and doesn't hide behind politeness or passive silence. She's learned that pretending everything is okay only creates distance, that silence is not peace. Now she chooses clarity over confusion, truth over comfort. She'll tell you when something bothers her. She won't wait for you to guess what's wrong. She'll express her needs, her boundaries, and her expectations with honesty, not to control you, but because she respects herself enough to speak up. And here's what you need to know. This kind of woman may come off as too direct for those who are used to emotional games, but she's not rude. She's responsible. She's not cold. She's clear, and if you value honesty, she will become one of the most refreshing people you'll ever love. She doesn't expect you to be perfect, but she does expect you to listen, to talk, and to meet her where she is with openness, because communication to her is love in action. If you're used to silence and guessing games, her honesty might shake you, but once you get used to it, you'll never want anything less. And yet, even when she's speaking clearly and showing up honestly, there's something else happening beneath the surface. A powerful, quiet radar that has developed over time. Let's talk about her sharpened intuition. Sharpened intuition. You might think she's just overthinking or being paranoid, but the truth is, she feels it before she can explain it. Her intuition has been sharpened by pain, refined by experience, and shaped by every time she ignored it and paid the price. A woman who has been emotionally hurt learns to pay attention to the subtle, the way your tone shifts, the sudden distance in your eyes, a delayed response, a change in routine. You may not even notice it, but she does. And this doesn't come from insecurity. It comes from memory, from moments in her past when something felt off and she pushed that feeling aside, only to later discover she was right. Now she no longer ignores that voice inside her. She might ask a question you weren't expecting. She might go quiet. She might observe instead of react. It's not that she doesn't trust you. She's learning whether she can. Her intuition is her emotional radar, and it's always on. If you want to love a woman like this, the best thing you can do is be honest, not just in words, but in energy. Be clear, be consistent, be real, because when her heart senses safety, her love flows without hesitation. She feels what's not being said. That's not magic, that's memory. And if you're real with her, you'll see just how much love she's still willing to give. Now that you've seen these 9 emotional traits shaped by her past, it's time to ask yourself, how many of them do you recognize in the women you love or in yourself? Every woman carries a story, and that story shapes how she loves, trusts, and protects herself. When you begin to notice these signs, confidence, vulnerability, caution, clarity, you're not just understanding her, you're choosing to love her better. This kind of awareness changes everything. It builds stronger, safer, more meaningful connections. And if you're truly ready for a deep relationship, one built on empathy and respect, then start by seeing the woman behind the behavior. Now I want to hear from you. Have you noticed these traits in your own relationships or in someone close to you? Leave a comment below and share your experiences. By the way, if you want to take your game to the next level, check out the link in the description for the Obsession Method, a complete guide to making women obsessed with you. It's packed with proven strategies to help you leave a lasting impression.